In the following video, I would like to explain the difference between ancillary services and grid system services. Ancillary service means stabilizing the frequency in the grid. The transmission grid operator is responsible for this. The operator is responsible for stabilizing generation and consumption in the grid. They do this using 3 different methods. These differ in how quickly power must be made available and how long power must be made available. First, there's the frequency containment reserve. Then the frequency restoration reserve. And finally, the tertiary control output. These ancillary services differ from the grid system services in that the voltage is kept constant for the grid system services. The grid system services are, so to speak, the normative requirements, corresponding to the VDE ARN 4105 standard for low voltage, as well as the VDE ARN 4110 standard for medium voltage. These are the grid connection conditions. Without these, I would not be allowed to connect my generators to the grid at all. There are 2 methods that I use here. The first is reactive power control. This is also called Q of U. This means that the reactive power is controlled as a function of the grid voltage. Secondly, there's active power control. This is often referred to as P of F. This means that the power can be regulated depending on the grid frequency. There are 2 methods for this. One is the fixed setting of the active power limitation of my generating plants. For generation plants smaller than 30 kilowatts, we have the 70% rule, for example. This is a rigid setting. The second method is a dynamic setting via a ripple control receiver. The energy supplier can control the system remotely and in various modes by way of the ripple control receiver. Conventional wisdom is to regulate active power by 100%, 60%, 30%, and so that I have no power available at all. While grid system services are the normative basis for being allowed to connect generating plants or storage systems to the grid at all, ancillary services, on the other hand, can generate very good revenues.